Hey KW agents, so I wanted to create a quick video that walks you through your consumer app. So remember that your consumer app is the KW Realty app. It's going to be the one with the white background with the red KW. So we will open that. Now there's been a little bit of confusion. So with the consumer app, when the consumers are first downloading it, it's going to ask them to create an account. The reason for that is because we want your consumer to have the best experience possible with the app. And for that, we really need to hold on to where they're searching, start to understand their favorites. So if we think of it almost as like their consumer realty app for real estate, almost really similar to Netflix. If we were to log into Netflix, we want it to remember our favorites. We want it to know the last thing that we were watching. We just wanted to understand us and our behavior patterns. And so that's why they're asking them to register. Now, once they've registered, if you sent them the link directly, which is branded to you, then they would have your mobile app. They can also search for you, or you can search for yourself if yours isn't branded to you by clicking at the icon at the bottom right. And so when we click on that, you'll see that you've got your agent. If we click on that, this is where we'd be able to search for an agent. So you would just search by your first name and your last name, find yourself, and then say claim agent. And so then once we have the agent branded to you, we can share the app directly underneath that by just clicking share the KW app. Now this is where it's going to pop up that if we wanted to text them our mobile app, it's going to have a link and then it's going to have some wording. You can get rid of everything except for the link. So if the wording doesn't make sense or it's not something that you would write, that's completely fine. All we really need to know is this link. I would actually take it a step further and I would say, let's just take this link and maybe add that to our own contact card or save it in notes on your phone, and that way you can copy and paste it to anybody at any time. You guys could even create notes and you could have scripts. So maybe you would have an open house script saying something like, it was really great meeting you at the open house today. Thanks so much for taking time to swing by and visit. I wanted to share my mobile app with you that allows you to see not only nearby open houses, but also what's available on the market. Give it a shot. Let me know your thoughts. Happy to help in any way. And then we just need to make sure that we're including that link with it. So this is the link at the top. Don't use this one. It's going to be specific to you, but that's the link that we need to know. So let's just go through a couple things about the app. So at the bottom is where you've got all the icons of everything you can do within the app. So you'll see by default, it's going to take us to the map search view. That seems to be the more popular one, which is why we take it that way. So we've got the map search view. Now at the top where it says city, address, school, or zip, I can search by a school zone, a zip code, an address, or a city. I can also search just by my current location. And then it's going to pull up where I am. And then if I wanted to see more information, I could click on any of the properties that pop up and to see that. Some other cool functionality that you have when we're here in the map view is at the very top, you've got this little bookmark icon that says save. Now by default, so we'll just call this home search. So anybody could come in here and they could basically create their own saved searches. And when you're their agent, you'll see all of that through your command contact. So we could save that. And then another thing that we could do is we can come up and we can draw. So if I click on the draw button, you'll see that everything disappears. So sometimes we have people that say, I want to live north of this, or I want to live this side of, I-4, or whatever it might be. So let's say that we had someone that said, I want to live maybe right in here. And so then what happens is it pops up and it'll still show houses nearby, but it'll specifically show anything in the drawn area there. So from that point, they could click on any of the listings, take a look at any of that. So those are some cool things that they can do in the map view. You've got other options up here where they can sort by price, bedrooms, property type, anything like that. Then we've also got a list view. So that's at the top left. So if you have people that prefer to see it in more of a list view format, we can click on that and then it'll take them through. So then let's say that they find a house that they really, really love. So let's say that we like this one. So we can click on it, we can go through, see all the photos, see all the details. But then what's really cool is we can start to scroll down and we'll see that we've got home details, we've got specific neighborhood details down here at the bottom. Then we've got market information, we've got what locals say about the area, we've got commute times. So they could search for a place, and so maybe they wanted to search for, let's see, Howard Middle School. It tells them you're about a 21-minute commute from here. And then we could add an additional place. So let's say they wanted to put in where they work. We can put that in, and then that'll show us we're about a 16-minute commute from there. Underneath that, we've got nearby schools, both public and private. If there were any upcoming open houses, we'd see that as well. Then you also have a mortgage calculator for every single listing. And these can all be changed. So let's say the loan type is not going to be 30-year. They can click on that and we can move that down to 15 or whatever we'd like. We can change the down payment. Now again, it's going to be very much an average in a calculator, but just nice to have that. Then underneath that, we've got activity for this home and then also nearby homes. And then it's going to be branded to you all at the bottom. So we'll get out of that one, and then we go back to the list view. We could take a look at all of these. Next to that, I'll just continue to go through the icons. We've got feed. Now this will start to, I don't have anything, which is why it's saying an error occurred. As people start to really save searches, they're favoriting homes, anything like that, they'll start to see this in their feed. Next to that, we've got guides, which is really, really cool. So you have a buying guide and you have a selling guide. These are completely customizable. So you can actually go into Command and completely update these guides. And we have another video that walks through that. But essentially, if you have a potential buyer and they just want to know, well, what's the next step and what happens first, you can have them download your app and tell them, I made a customized guide specifically for you. And so they can go in here and say, okay, I'm going to start my search. Click on that. All of this, again, you can go in and edit, but then they can actually come down here to the bottom and they can mark that step as completed. And as they do that through their app, you'll start to see that in Command. So if we think like we've got Get Pre-Approved, this can be completely customized. And so they can go in and you can customize that as well. We can also come into home inspection. So let's say that you have 3 different home inspectors that you want to recommend to them. You could add that information into this. So I think this is a really great thing for you. Even if you have people that say, we're not really ready to buy yet, they generally still want to know what the process looks like. So it's a great reason for you to share the app and not just say, I've got an app, search for homes, but to say, I've got an app and I actually made a specific checklist for you because I know you might be thinking about starting the buying process soon, and walk them through where that is. You've got the same thing under the selling guide, which I think would be a fantastic resource for not only potential sellers, but also for sale by owners. So send this to them, send them your app and say, I've got a guide in there for you. The first step, it walks through showing your home and the best things to do to prepare your house for a showing. This is what I use for all my listings. I thought it might be helpful for you. So again, we just continue to be a resource. So those are under guides. You've got buying guide and selling guide. Underneath that, you've got the saved section. So as your contacts that are using the app start to have favorites or they're saving things, they'll show up here. So that's kind of just a rundown of the app. It's really, really powerful. It's really amazing. I would definitely encourage you guys to really start to dive into it, understand it. I think the best practice is to have 2 or 3 things that you really love about the app and be able to share that with anybody that you're sharing the app with, and you have a really great chance of them really using it. So if you have any questions or need help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.